In this video, we'll discuss how you can automatically populate controls on a UX component with data that is retrieved from a database. And in particular, for the situation where the UX component has not actually been data bound. In other words, you haven't gone to data binding and specifically bound the entire UX component to a particular table or set of tables. So you can see that in this simple component over here, we have a list control, and this list control is populated by doing a SQL query against the Northwinds customer table, and we're displaying customer ID, contact name, and city. And then we have a series of controls over here to the right of the list control. And what we would like to do is when the user clicks on a row in the list control, we'd like to go and do an AJAX callback and go and retrieve the data for that customer and then populate those controls over there. So let's go back to the builder now and see how this can be done easily. So we're going to go now back to design mode, and we'd like to do the population of those controls when the user clicks on a row in the list. So we'll bring up the list, we'll go to list properties, and then we'll scroll down to the list click event over there, and then we'll bring up the builder. So now we can write the JavaScript to go and populate the controls. We'd like to use action JavaScript to do that. So let's go and create a new action, and we'll create an action called Populate Controls, and then we'll go now and edit this action using action JavaScript. So the action that we would like to use will be populate an unbound UX component with data from a table, and we'd like to read the primary key of the record we'd like to fetch from a control on the UX component. So we'll go there now and we'll choose the list control. We'll choose the actually what we'll do is we'll choose the ID, the customer ID from the list control. So that's the primary key of the record that we would like to go and fetch. Then we define our connection string. So we'll go here and choose our SQL Server connection to Northwinds over there. Then the table we would like to populate data from is the customers table. So we can also basically specify a query if we'd like to populate the controls with data from more than one table. So the primary key of the customer tables is in fact customer ID. And now we specify how we're going to bind the controls on the UX component to the controls that are to the fields that are in the record that we're going to go fetch. So we'd like to bind ID to customer ID, name to contact name, and company to company name, city to city, and country to country. So now we've specified our data binding over here, and then we can go ahead now and just click OK, and then click there, and then save this. Now we need to run this action that we've just defined. So we'll say run the action. So now we're going to run this action that we just previously defined. So when the user clicks on a row in the list control, we're going to run this action JavaScript over there. So let's go back now and go to working preview now. And when we click on the row, we can see that Alpha 5 automatically makes an AJAX callback, goes and finds the record for the row that I clicked on, and then populates the corresponding controls over there. So we've shown here how easy it is to populate controls in a UX component with data from one or more tables by making an AJAX callback and doing a query. Thanks very much for watching.